Alright guys, welcome back. I haven't got a chance to get my mic down, so audio will be a little bad for this section, but we are rope dropping Disneyland today, and I'm going to talk about our strategy, what rides we're choosing and why, as we try to bang out as many rides as we can in an effective, non-stressful manner is the hope, and hopefully be done by 3 or 4 p.m. today with a successful Disneyland adventure. So I'll be sharing any tips that I have for that, and come along with us as we head to our first ride, which will attempt to be a rope drop for Peter Pan, which is a hard one to hit. There's a very small window to successfully do this. This will be right in front of us. Right here in front. Yep. Okay, so we're finally in the line for Peter Pan. Even though we were relatively close to the start of the rope drop section, it is still a madhouse for this one. Our strategy is going to be to rope drop Peter Pan. We're then going to try to get some of the other dark rides here in Fantasyland while our countdown on our stacking for lightning lanes begins. Our first lightning lane that we got was Indiana Jones. It is for 9:10 or something like that, but we're not going to be riding Indiana Jones. We're going to keep pushing that time back closer to 1 or 2 p.m. Our goal is to have a stack of 3 or 4 lightning lanes ready to go, so after lunch we can just get on some rides, bang out some of the bigger, more harder to get on rides in a row, and then enjoy our rest of the day. The question we have to decide in our strategy today is what do we do after Fantasyland? We are going to be doing Peter Pan, which is one of the harder ones to get into. The line that I'm in is very deep. We have a little bit of a value because of that rope drop. We're then going to do at least 2 other rides here, and then we're going to decide if we want to go to the Rise of Skywalker or go towards Toontown or something like that. I'm leaning towards Rise of Skywalker because of the no access to lightning lanes through our purchase. I don't want to buy a Premier Pass. And I'm thinking if we can get in there before 10 o'clock, we should have a good success without having too long of a wait for Rise of Skywalker. So let's go and check out Peter Pan. So as we're in the line here for Peter Pan, there's a special hidden game that you can play. It's not hidden, it's the Play Disney app that allows you to play games while you're waiting in line. But one of these allows you to have an Easter egg at the end, and we're going to go show you what that is. Whoa! You found her, Avery. All right. It'll be 8:27 to the ride, so 27-minute wait. Not too bad.
Come on, everybody. Here we go. On to Neverland. There it is, Wendy. Second start of the ride, straight on to War.
We're done with Peter Pan, heading on into Pinocchio now. Looks like it's going to be close to a walk-on, maybe about a 4-minute wait. We finished Peter Pan around 8:30. Okay, so 8:32, 2-minute wait to our car for Pinocchio. And here we go, Avery. Second ride, it's 8:36. We're gonna try to get into the Toad, and then we'll see and assess where we're at in our time there. Might see if we can find ourselves some snacks here as well. So we're gonna be jumping into Snow White. Toad had a long line, longer than expected, and if we want to effectively use our strategy here, we can't be using too much time on rides. So we're gonna do Snow White. So it is 8:40, so 4 minutes to our car. Okay, so we are out 8:43, 3 rides done. We're still within our golden 2-hour limit. We're gonna see if there's anything else here in Fantasyland we wanna hit. The line for Toad has significantly dropped, so we might jump in that real quick. We're entering here at 8:44 for Toad. 10-minute wait, so we'll see how this one looks. All right, so we are at the cars at 8:53. So 9 minutes to the car for Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Here we go. Gotta make sure I'm driving this right. Coming through, coming through. Okay, so it's 8:56. We have finished 4 rides at Fantasyland. That's a pretty big success, I think, in our first hour here of our rope drop attempt. We're now going to head over to Rise of Resistance in Star Wars Land, back 2 or whatever they call it, and try to get there. Now, the strategy for this one hinges on trying to get there as close to 9 o'clock. So generally what I've seen happens, sorry for that sun glare, generally what I see happens with Rise of Resistance is if people choose to rope drop it, which is, in my opinion, not the greatest strategy, that you lose a lot of your first hour because Rise of Resistance takes so long to complete. It's a great ride, it's one of the best rides, but it's a long ride, so you lose a lot of time. So people who rush there immediately lose that time, and then there's gonna be a lull period of a die down between 9 and 10 where you can try to get in there with a 30-minute wait or less, and that's what we're gonna try to attempt to do. As we enter the Star Wars segment, we're also coming in from Fantasyland. There's a back path kind of where Belle's restaurant is, and you can actually get a really good shortcut cutting over to Rise of Resistance, taking this path instead of going to Indiana Jones, past Pirates, past Haunted Mansion, past the Bayou. That takes you a lot longer to get there. So this is actually more of a direct path. We've just left Fantasyland and we're already entering Star Wars Land. So that's great. Now, we are using we're using Lightning Lane today. And we're gonna be using a stacking technique. So when we entered the park, the first thing we did was booked a Lightning Lane. I picked Indiana Jones. One of the reasons I picked Indiana Jones, it's a hard one to get for certain times, and it breaks down a lot, so there's a chance that we can get an extended pass through it. But we're actually going to be modifying our times, pushing it out. We want to ride all of our rides around 1 to 2:45. So right now it's temporarily closed. So that's actually in line with what we see normally. So yeah, temporary close. It's one of the reasons why you aim for something like that, because if it's closed while you have your Lightning Lane active, you get a pass that you can use at any ride that's Lightning Laneable, and you can even double up. So that's pretty cool. Star Wars Land looking pretty good. Low attendance right now. It's also the farthest end of the park. So for people who are doing rope drop, this is one of the harder places to get to. It's another reason why Rise of Skywalker is not a great initial rope drop strategy. Chewie! What's going on out here, Chewie? Okay, so here we are, standby. Posted wait time is 35 minutes. Let's see how we do. Oh yeah, this is gonna be good. Our time will be really good on this ride. We're completely skipping this section right here, which is great. Section 3 back there. We might be all the way up to the waterfall area. So I was right, we found the back right at the waterfall feature. So I'm thinking we're gonna get a little bit of a value on this one. They didn't have multiples of those outward queues set up. We bypassed the majority of them. So now we're just gonna hang out in the Rise of Resistance. We say Rise of Skywalker, but Rise of Resistance queue, which is a ride in one of itself. It's a really good experience.
BB-8, is everyone assembled? Good. Shouldn't you be in flight prep? Recruits, thank you for joining the cause.
Take this corridor to the turbo lift, then head down to the escape pod base. Those droids are programmed to return you to Batu. Hurry and don't get caught. There they are! Fire! The escape pod's just below us. Take the lift down. Hurry! No, not up! I said down! You're missing equipment authorization.
Shields? I see no evidence.
Sound the alarm! All personnel to their stations!
Sir, the prisoners have escaped.
How brave, but ultimately hopeless. There's nowhere to run.
So we entered Rise of Resistance at 9 o'clock, 9:02. We entered the Ray room at 9:26. So roughly 25 minutes or so. We finished our ride. It is now 9:43. So that's one of the reasons why Rise of the Resistance is not a great rope drop, because it's a 20-minute experience in itself. Great experience. One of the best rides here at the park. So now what do we have? 9:47 is when I can book my next lightning lane. I've already moved back our next ride to 11:50 or so. We're gonna keep pushing that one back as long as we can. And then we're gonna be booking another one here when we're allowed to in 3 minutes. So I'm gonna sit down with Jess. We're gonna strategize, see what the next stop should be. We're also be planning our food now because we haven't had breakfast yet. So we'll have a little lunchtime brunch breakfast. Okay, so our time is now for a booking. So we're gonna check to see what we have available. Haunted Mansion, we're probably gonna snag that because that is right at the end of our ride time. We wanna finish our rides right around 2 o'clock, and that's there. So we're gonna just snag that real quick, get our booking. Let's check out what we got. So right now we got Indiana Jones for 11:25. We're gonna move that back even further. We want that in the 1 o'clock range, closer to the 1 o'clock. So we'll show you how to do that. When you do that, you click it. You never click cancel. You're always gonna click modify. And then we're gonna see the new one. Ooh, we don't want that though. 2:25 is a little far out for that. So what you can do is you can actually just keep swiping, and you can actually find a new time. So we're just gonna keep doing this for a little bit, and I'm not gonna record the whole thing, but just kind of showing you that if you do this for a little bit, you can usually find yourself a good time. And just like that, we found ourselves a 12:05. So we're gonna go and book that. That's getting closer to our time limit of where we're wanting to stack all of our rides so we can hit a bunch of rides all at once. So now when we click here and we go to book Lightning Lane, we can see when we go to the tip board, it'll tell us our next booking time is 11:55. So that's what we're looking at for our next booking line. And then after one, it'll be 12:55, where we'll have all 4 of our passes. And we hopefully, once we do those, then we can hit some of those now attractions. Those are lightning lanes that you can get on immediately. You don't have to book in the future. And we might be able to get 7 or so rides, all lightning lane in a row, and finish out our day. So we're gonna go get some food right now, and maybe get on the Millennium Falcon and then get food. We'll see how the timing looks. Okay, we picked ourselves up some souvenirs. I found myself a really cool Star Wars hoodie that I've been kind of needing. It's not like necessarily needing a hoodie, but I like to buy a new hoodie every year, and haven't bought one yet, so we got one. We actually got a really cool tip that if you go to Toontown, for $8, you can have a name or something embroidered on your hoodie, and they can even do it in Arabic, the Star Wars language. So we're gonna take advantage of that today for sure, because that's really cool. So we are gonna be heading our way over back to Fantasyland for breakfast, but we saw that the Millennium Falcon has a 10-minute wait, and since we're here in Star Wars Land, figured might as well take advantage of that, do the other ride here, and then we'll head over and get ourselves some breakfast. And there's the Millennium Falcon. What a great reveal. That's one thing, they've done such a good job at this park. Here's the entrance for the Millennium Falcon ride. Single rider, lightning lane, and stand by at 10 minutes. And I bet you we can beat that time. We are walking in right now at 10:04. So this queue is a good way to know, are they up here? Are people waiting up here? There aren't any. So we're gonna be pretty much walking right onto this ride. This will be great. We're basically gonna be walking right onto the ride. So this 10-minute wait is more of just a walk-on wait. Coming in at 10:08. 10:08, 4 minutes.
We operate the ship and gunners to defend the shipments, and that is where you come in. The Millennium Falcon.
Just finished the Falcon, 10:20, great on our time. One thing that Jessica wanted to point out that I do think is valuable is the knowing of where certain water stations are. So this is at the end of the Falcon ride. You have a water station for filling up your bottles, as well as just drinking on the go. Great tip. Okay, so we are at the, what is this called? The Red Rose Tavern, I believe. And we're waiting for our breakfast using mobile order. If you haven't mobile ordered before, I highly recommend doing it. Effectively, you can order your food as you're somewhere else. You'll set a wait time. So ours was 10:30. And then when you arrive in the GPS area of your restaurant of choice, you say, I'm here, and then they start preparing your food. So you don't have to wait any line, you skip the standby line, and then you can actually find yourself a table, and then they'll notify you when your food is ready. And let's just go and check it. So it says preparing our order. So what we're gonna be doing now, we have our 2 lightning lanes. I'm just gonna go through and kind of see how the times look, see if we can bring some down. We wanna kind of bring that Haunted Mansion down. We want to raise the Indiana Jones up. So I'm doing that right now, and then we'll kind of plan out the rest of our day as we're eating breakfast. So we just finished eating and getting ready for the rest of our day. So it is 11:11 actually, Make-A-Wish. And we are through the golden 2 hours for the rope drop. So now we are going to be experiencing the peak of the crowd levels. We are still working on our stacking of our lightning lanes. And I don't know if I've explained kind of what that means. So when you purchase a lightning lane experience for Disney, you were able to book lightning lanes to skip the line, okay? And there's 2 things you can do with it. You can book it, and then once you use it, you're able to rebook another lightning lane. Or you're able to rebook another lightning lane after 2 hours. And you're able to hold on to lightning lanes until you use them. And you have about a 2-hour window when you're lightning lane. If you miss the time limit that you're in, that'll go away. So what we're trying to do is to book attractions that have high wait times and stack the lightning lanes to have 3 or 4 available, so that we're ready to do our 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. push through the busier rides to kind of hit those with minimal wait times. So that's what we're aiming for. Now, there are a few rides that I normally like to do that are not available, or they've removed the Lightning Lane option. Right now, Big Thunder Mountain is down for refurbishment, so that's one of the ones I would like to have on this stacking plan. It's not available. So right now we have Indiana Jones. I have been able to move that back again. Not much, but right now it's 12:35 to 1:35, and then we have our 2:05 for the Haunted Mansion. So 2:05 and 12:35. So our next booking appointment is 11:55. We'll see what we can find there. I think right now we're going to go do the Pirates of the Caribbean, and then we'll do Jungle Cruise. So that'll be rides 7 and 8. Maybe we'll go to Tom Sawyer's Island. I'm not sure yet, depending on how time looks and also what the queue is. In terms of our next booking for Lightning Lane, I think we're looking at going towards Toontown or the Matterhorn. So we'll see if Disney's Runaway, Mickey Mouse's Runaway Railroad is available, or the Matterhorn, depending on scheduling. Because we want to take advantage of the embroidery that we told you about the tip for the shirt, and we'll show you how that works. So come along with us as we go towards Adventureland. So here's that Peter Pan ride now, just blowing up at the seams. And we are going to show you actually my sneak here. This is a secret cut, so we go right here. There's a little path that says this way to Frontierland. And this is a quick shortcut to get to right where we need to go. And it also takes us to my favorite treat snack place. Which is Maurice's Treats. Oh, look at that. Snow White. Look at that. They got Snow White out here. It's the Maurice's Treats here in the Fantasy Fair. That is my favorite snack treat. And you'll continue through here. And this is that secret path I was telling you that takes you to Frontierland. And also take you by one of my favorite restaurants. That is a restaurant you do not need to do mobile order for, because the standby line is so fast. It should be right over here. You can see that is the standby line. Very quick. The last thing I want to mention about this restaurant that I talked about with the short wait time, there is another water station here, and you can actually get ice inside if you have a water cup that you want to fill up with ice. That's what I do. So I filled up with ice, got some more water, and we're on our way to Pirates. Made pretty good time. It's 11:45. We're about to get onto our boat. So we had about a 25-minute wait for Pirates. 16-minute wait. Look at that. So probably closer to 18 once we get on our boat. But that's value to save. That's time saved right there by picking the right rides at the right time. So this will be Pirates of the Caribbean. And here we are to our boat, row 1, Pirates of the Caribbean. 18 minutes, butts in the ride. This is my favorite part. Check out that cool restaurant.
We gotta eat there someday.
Yeah. I actually have no idea how to get the reservation.
You have to book a reservation 60 days out from your trip.
Really? Yeah, I bet. Yeah, he's just hanging out. He's just hanging out. He's just an old man playing the banjo. Okay, so 12:05. We're off Pirates. And we are about ready to start cashing in our lightning lanes. I think we have one more standby line. And then we'll go and hit our lightning lane. So I think we have one more standby line with potentially Jungle Cruise. Then we have Indy, into a break, into Haunted Mansion, into Mickey's Wild Ride. Checking out the gift shop here at Pirates. They have this battleship game. It's kind of cool. You got these ships over here, the Wicked Wench, Frigate, Cutlass. What does that say? Bateau and a rowboat. I think it's kind of cool. Kind of interesting. Okay, we are on our way now. So, like I said, we just finished Pirates. It is now 12:14. We took a little bit of break checking out the gift shop. The way we do gift shops with our family is, of course, our daughter is going to want everything she sees. So we have her take a picture of anything that she wants. And then on the nights before our final night, so tonight, she can review all the photos that she's seen, and she can pick out one item that is her favorite. So we can pick it up on our final day at the park. That one helps us so we don't have to carry a bunch of stuff with us all the time. And it also helps her be a little bit more selective in terms of what she actually wants and what she can get. And not overbuy kind of thing. So in terms of our plans, we have our Indiana Jones is going to be ready here in a second. We're going to jump on Jungle Cruise. My wife hasn't done that before that I'm aware of, and Avery hasn't done that. So we're going to jump on that right now. It is right next door to Indy. We'll do Indy next, and I'll show you a trick with Indy where you can get some value or some time savings where you don't need Lightning Lane. We'll show you that. After that, we'll get some of the best Dole Whip in the park, take a little break, and then do our ride, do our Haunted Mansion. So we entered the queue at 12:16. We were quoted a 15-minute wait. So I'm curious to see how that goes. Based on what I saw from the queue on the outside, I think we're gonna get some value here. I think we should be good, but we'll see. So we just got off Jungle Cruise. It was 18 minutes to our boat. So posted 15, 18, not bad. We show a posted 30. Now one thing you wanna see here, see the top deck here and here? If there's no movement happening, like there's not right now, that's a no-go. That means this ride is gonna be maybe even longer than 30 minutes. So now we have our Lightning Lane ready, but I'm gonna show you the trick real quick. So Lightning Lane merges very early with Indiana Jones, and depending on how the standby line works, you can actually save yourself and not have to do a Lightning Lane. So let me go and get my pass ready to go. We are all in. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. As we go up the Lightning Lane line, these two lanes will merge at the top of this path. But down here is where standby is. And if you can see how that standby queue is actually kind of half full, that's actually a value. So you actually can save yourself a lot of time not using a Lightning Lane, checking the standby line and seeing what's down here.
Now, my friends, one final word of advice. Once you've entered the Chamber of Destiny, look not into the eyes of the idol. That would be dangerous. Very dangerous.
All the way forward as far as you can.
Well, my friends, your moment is drawing near. Already I am envious of the wonders that await you. If you avoid the
And we're in. Heading to our car now. Look at all the treasures they found. So we redeemed our first Lightning Lane, and it was Indiana Jones. Incredible ride, so much fun. We actually sat in the back row this time, mostly because Avery was really scared the last time we rode it, where she sat in the front. And I think the back row might be one of the better ones. It felt like the whips, in the back of the car were really intense. So now we're gonna go get the famous Dole Whip that's right next to Jungle Cruise. Bengal barbecue is also very good, which is right in the same area. Both of them, I highly recommend doing mobile order. Bengal barbecue, more so, because there's only one standby checkout line. So we're gonna go and get our Dole Whip, maybe get a barbecue, we'll see. Okay, so we're at the Tropical Hideaway now, waiting for the world famous Dole Whip. I'm actually going to try a swirl one today. Again, if you go here, this is a mobile order recommendation. The standby line, I don't know if you can actually see it here. I'll try my best to show you. It's not that bad, so it's this right here. But I've seen this wait go all the way to the entrance, and it's just a very, very long wait. So in terms of what our plans are, what have we done so far? Let's kind of review. We did Peter Pan rope drop. We then did Snow White. We then did, what else did we do over there? God, so it's so long ago, I can't remember. We did Pinocchio, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. We then did Star Wars. That's 5 rides right there. That was all within like about the first hour. Millennium Falcon, Jungle Cruise. Our 8th ride was our first Fast Pass use, our Lightning Lane with Indiana Jones. Now, if my strategy worked a little better, and that's mostly because I think at the holiday weekend, it's kind of making it difficult. We would love to have another Lightning Lane queued to right now. So remember I was talking about having the 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. windows kind of locked out, but we weren't able to get that. So our next Lightning Lane is at 2:05. Our next one after that is at 2:20 with the Mickey Mouse Runaway Railroad. You are able to, at this point, chain as many of these lightning raids during this 1 to 3 p.m. hour where the crowds are the heaviest. So you're able to take advantage of the savings that we've banked over the last few hours. So we did all of those all of that rope drop strategy early on so that we can enjoy this time eating food, not having to stress, and still getting those value times with our savings. So that's kind of the idea of what the strategy might implement. Now, one suggestion you might want to do, as I talked about in the Indiana Jones ride, if you do something similar to what we're doing, you rope drop Peter Pan, you do 3 rides or so at Fantasyland, 3 or 4 rides, depending on what your family wants to do. If you then go over to Indiana Jones, there's a high probability that you could have a walk-on similar to what a Lightning Lane would provide. And that's where you can actually save your Lightning Lane for another ride, like Space Mountain or Thunder Mountain, something like that. Now, we would have done that if we wanted to do Space Mountain. Space Mountain was not on today's list. We didn't do Indiana Jones yesterday, we did Space Mountain yesterday. So that's kind of why we're doing it this way. Also, you want to try to chain the area that you're in as much as possible. So back in the day when we did this last time, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean was a Lightning Lane, Haunted Mansion, Big Thunder Mountain. We try to keep it all centralized to one area when you have all those chainings go together, so you can all do four big rides in a row. So we're probably going to continue this vlog a little bit longer, but not too much. You kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about at this point. And our hope is to kind of be done with the day relatively early, 3 p.m., getting a good amount of rides, 10 to 12 rides in. The thing that I probably won't show that I talk about here is as we wrap up our final Lightning Lane ride with Mickey's Runaway Railway, walking out of the park, there are several rides that you can hit that are called nows. They're Lightning Lane available that you can usually book and go on immediately. So Matterhorn sometimes can fall in that range. Star Tours is almost always in that range, and Buzz Lightyear's in that range. So we're going to be able to walk on to 3 more rides as we exit the park. So we'll be able to have a great loop. So yeah, we're going to do that. That is the hope for the adventure, and we'll probably wrap this up around 3 p.m. It is now 1:23. Our mobile order will be ready at 1:25. So we're on our way, finally. It is 1:47. Our Lightning Lane for Haunted Mansion's at 2:05. You can redeem 5 minutes early at 2. And we're going to hit that. In fact, here in 9 minutes, I could book another Lightning Lane if I choose. I'll take a look and see if there's anything there. See anything we can book and hit. But we're gonna go and do this one. Then we're gonna scamper on over to Toontown and do Mickey's ride.
Over on the Bee's Knees. Here in my adventure, you enjoy winning the food
Louis the alligator, and other beloved critters on their fun-filled adventures. There is the revered Indian shaman, sharing his stories with those in the great river valley below.
Okay, so we got off of Haunted Mansion at about 2:20, 2:25. We then decided to take the train from the square there, New Orleans Square, and now we're over at Toontown. And if you remember right, we have a fast pass for Disney for the Mickey's Runaway Railroad. I was able to secure another fast pass. So the Minnie's one is actually right now 2:20. We have Roger Rabbit at 2:40, so they're actually overlapping right now because it is 2:41. So we're gonna go directly into Runaway Railroad, hit that, use our fast pass, and then immediately go right over to Roger Rabbit right after that. And then we also wanted to do Toontown to hit that embroidery, which I'll show you guys. I've never done that, I have no idea even where it is, so we'll figure it out together where that is. This queue is really long. This is gonna be a real value for us. The queue for Runaway Railroad is deep. In fact, it goes all the way out the entrance for standby. So we're gonna be saving ourselves a solid 45 to 50 minutes on this one. Okay. Huh? I'm gonna put it in my backpack. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so it's 3:13. We got to the ride at 3:03. They had a little bit of a problem, a malfunction, so it kind of stalled us in the line a little bit. But man, Runaway Railroad is one of the coolest new rides they have, and they've got this really cool gift shop here. So our next lightning lane will be for Roger Rabbit. At that point, I could book another one, or I could wait till 3:40, but once we use this one, we can immediately rebook. We're probably in our wind down stage, because I told you 3 o'clock was our ending stage. So we're kind of in our wind down stage. We're gonna be doing some nows. I really want to do Star Tours. I heard they did some renovations, so curious if they did a new segment or anything like that, so that'd be fun to check out. My wife wants to do a Small World, and I think that might be wrapping up. I'll keep you guys updated, and we'll do a final wrap up at the end here. So here's Roger Rabbit. I've never done this one before. Roger Rabbit's kind of an old IP too. Surprised it's still so prevalent and popular here. So I don't know what the wait time is. Let's check out the wait. Standby is 45 minutes, but we've got our lightning lane. So let's go on in and check out this ride that I've never been on. So we're already at our car at 3:18. So it's just with lightning lane, you're looking at a 2-minute wait to our yellow taxi for Roger Rabbit.
Boys, one fine 28 years
Oh man, Roger Rabbit. That's the first time I've done that. That's a fun ride. Very fun ride. I didn't realize, whoop, going the wrong way. Didn't realize you can spin it for the first quarter of the ride. Because that's me being an old dork. But now we're gonna try to find this embroidery shop. So let's see where we're at, in the middle of Toontown. So here we are in the Engineer gift shop, and this is where I believe those embroidery stations are. So we're gonna go and get my new hoodie embroidered. It's pretty sweet. This is where all those shirts I've been seeing have been going. Here is what you can do. You can get your stuff embroidered at the what's it called? The Engineer location. So I'm going to be getting my name. They don't let you put anything different. I was going to put my gamer tag on there, but we'll be doing my name. And that's kind of cool. So all for $8. I don't think that's such a bad deal. It's almost $9. And now we're just hanging out here at the Toontown play area. I know for some people that coming to Disneyland to let your kid play at a play park would seem kind of weird. You know, you're paying all this money for, you know, your kids to come and play at a play park that you could probably play in your hometown. But, you know, it's the memories, it's for the family, it's for the experience together. It gives the parents an opportunity to sit down and relax. We've had a long day today. Started at 6 a.m. and gives the kids an opportunity to really have fun and be kids and laugh and enjoy the wonky buildings here in Goofy's play area. So we're gonna wait for this to be picked up. We're also getting a treat from Daisy's Market here. And, Cafe Daisy, yeah, we'll get some Cafe Daisy. And then potentially, we still have an ability, if we want to hit Small World and Star Tours as now type attractions. The waiting line for Small World right now is only 5 minutes. But we have the Lightning Lane ability. As soon as we use it, you book Star Tours immediately after. They're both go on and goes. Star Tours has a little bit of a wait for Lightning Lane, even on like when they're walk-ons. For some reason, like it's just the normal how it goes. But I think that would wrap up our day. But we'll see how it goes, see if anything changes. You know, I keep thinking, oh, this might be the end of the vlog, but it keeps happening. Making our way through Tomorrowland to our final. You know, I have actually no idea what Star Wars Launch Bay is. I've never even gone and looked at what that is. I should probably look at it tonight. See what that freaking thing is. Anyways, we're going to our final ride for the day as we make our way to the front of the park. And that will be Star Tours. We just got off of It's a Small World. And this will be putting us at 15 rides for the day. Completely doable to have completed this by 3, like my original plan. But because we did some shopping and snacking and vegging a little bit, we'll be ending this around, let's see the time now, we're at 4:35 with this Lightning Lane. So we'll be out of here by 4:45, 4:50. But that is our day. I'll wrap it up here once we're out of Star Tours. The Star Tours queue, now they can go into that room right here. That's like the extended overflow. But they do have my hair in the outdoor expansion. So I'm hoping it's not too long of a line. But we're on Lightning Lane. So we'll see how we do on our end. See if it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to get to our ride. Well, friends, I think that wraps up our day here at Disney. We are 2 hours behind in terms of our estimated time where we wanted to leave. 5 o'clock exactly. We're heading down Main Street right now. We had a pretty successful day though. Rope dropping at exactly 8 a.m. Hitting Peter Pan. That was our core target was Fantasyland. After that, hitting 3 Fantasyland attractions on top of it. Any of them that had a shorter wait. Anything that had either a walk-on type effect. By doing that allowed us to knock out 4 rides in the first hour and then continue our trip to Star Wars Land, hitting both of those rides within 45 minutes. Continuing on to breakfast or brunch. And, you know, we'll obviously you've seen it if you watched the whole video, but, you know, utilizing the strategy allowed us to hit almost 16 or so rides in total without feeling like we had to run across the park. I'm still moving, still doing good. I'm tired. I mean, we've been doing this at our 4th day of traveling. But, you know, it's been good. It's been fun. And I think the most important thing is to have an idea when you're coming to this park of what is it you want to see, what do you want to do, and kind of figuring out a strategy like what I used to effectively do it, to save yourself time, because waiting in line is never fun. And you can effectively see the park and skip a lot of lines without having to spend absorbent amount of money for like the $400 Premier Pass or something like that. So I'm gonna go and wrap this up, enjoy the rest of my evening with my family. But thank you for watching. I'll talk to you soon.